Hey there, magical experimenters. Taylor Ellwood here. And you're watching this video, please go ahead and click the subscribe button and the bell notification if you've never done that before. If you're a frequent flyer here, please feel free to like the video and leave a comment, participate. So, I thought I would do a follow-up to last night's video. I know I don't always, sometimes I do more videos than not, and this is one of those cases. My magical partner had watched the video and she shared some really interesting thoughts on it. She said to me, in regards to like my point that when you've manifested what you want, you have to follow through. She made this really interesting point. She said, "This is where enough comes in, and being content with the manifestation rather than moving on to the next endeavor is important." And then she proceeded to say, once you get something, it's easy to keep looking for more, but that same energy can go to nurturing what you have just accomplished and maximizing it to its highest form. And I thought, that was some profound wisdom that she dropped right there, on it. And I really appreciated it because it summed up a lot of what I was saying, but in a way that I wouldn't have necessarily put it. Even though I've talked about, this whole concept of being of enough and figuring out what it is. She neatly tied it together in a way I probably wouldn't have seen. So credit to her, because she's an awesome, amazing person, and I'm lucky to be working with her and, well, all the other wonderful things that are occurring with her. But, it really does bring home a point. I mean, knowing what you want is important. Manifesting what you want and then building that foundation is important. Knowing what enough is around that is equally as important. When we're doing magical work or we're doing mundane work, we need to recognize like what we have in our lives and know when to say, I have enough. Know when to balance out what you want with knowing that you have enough. And I would argue, and I think this is really the point that she was making to me, and it was a really good point, is that when you know what your enough is, then you do spend more time stabilizing that foundation because you've just manifested something. So why wouldn't you invest the energy, the effort, the emotions, everything else into it in order to make it the best possible thing it can be? And I think a failing that I've certainly demonstrated in the past is that sometimes I focused on manifesting something, I've gotten a result, and then I moved on to the next thing because it's really tempting. And that kind of falls into the notion of the hungry ghost, the Buddhist mythology of the hungry ghost, where you have these people that have really distended bellies, but they have these small mouths and they can never have enough, right? Well, it's kind of the same thing. Like sometimes we get so caught up in our magical work, like, oh, well, I manifest this job, or I manifest this, or I manifest that. But then afterwards, it's like, oh, now I got to go on to the next thing. I've got to keep it going. And we become magic junkies where we're constantly adrenalining ourselves, constantly trying to get something, do something, achieve something, but never knowing when to say enough is enough. I have what I want. What is enough? And so I would share with all of you, and this is just something really to keep in mind, is that when you've manifested something that you want, it is good to really spend some time with it, but it's also good to reflect on like, how does this manifestation of enough of what I wanted fit into my sense of enough? Does it even? And that's a good question to ask, because sometimes we think we have what we want and we don't. And that's where we then go back to what I did, where it's like, okay, I wanted this, but now I don't, and I'm letting it go. And I'm choosing to let it go away because it's not quite what I want and it doesn't fit what I need. On the other hand, we could be like, oh, you know what? This really is enough. This is what I want, and I want to manifest it. I think, like in my case, like going back to my summer example, I got the one job, and in one sense, it certainly felt like I'd manifested what I wanted and that it certainly would have been enough. But in another sense, it wasn't the right fit. I ended up leaving that job because I realized that what I wanted was not what that job had to offer. What I wanted was something else, and that job wasn't the right fit. Then, when I figured out what I really wanted was, oh, hey, I meet this person and they might just be I didn't think at the time when I met her that she was the magical partner in my life. I mean, I thought she was really cool and I wanted to get to know her better. The magical partner thing really started to, I think, fall into place about a month or so later. That's when I began to realize, like, oh wow, this could be real. And then September is when it really came into focus for me. But it was enough focus of I want to get to know this person and see what could happen that caused me to also be like, okay, well now I've got to find something that's going to allow me the opportunity to manifest this partnership, this relationship. And I did. I got a job where I could work anywhere I wanted, and that job became enough for me. I focused on the fact that I'm like, okay, you know what? This is what I want, and it's enough. It's enough to allow me to pay the bills. It's enough to allow me to focus on what's important, which is stabilizing my life and moving in the direction I want to go in. So I took that job. And then I found a place down here. And then I continued to manifest this sacred partnership. And as this partnership has grown, what I've really focused on doing is stabilizing my life and focusing on building that partnership, recognizing like what's really important and focusing on prioritizing the things that are important in my life. So I'm still prioritizing my writing. I'm definitely prioritizing my magical work because I'm working with somebody else now. But I'm also prioritizing that relationship in and of itself. And the reason I'm doing that is because that's something I really wanted and it fits my definition of enough. Like, oh, I finally have, I have this, and I'm realizing like I don't have time for other things. I have my community to focus on and build. That's a lot right there. So that's forming new relationships. I have this relationship with this person that I want to be involved with on multiple levels. That right there is definitely enough. And I don't need to add more to the mix. I don't need to take on more than what I already need. I've got what I need. And that's what's important. Not only that, but I have what I want. And I realize that it satisfies me in a way that is really integral to me. Here I am doing this active magical work with this person. We're actively working together. So, I'm realizing what my enough is. And my enough is this relationship. It's this partnership. It's this community. It's this home. It's this job. It's my writing. And now I'm still working on manifesting certain things. Like I don't want to work at that job forever, as I said in the previous video. I do want to get out of it. I do want to do other things that are more important in my life. But it's providing the stability so I can focus on those things, so that I can, create classes and work on other projects and continue writing my books and do all the other things that I need to do in order to manifest my life in the way that I want to manifest it. Knowing what your enough is really important because it helps you focus on what you want, and it helps you build that foundation and start developing things the way you want to develop them. So I want you to keep that in mind in your own magical work. And I'm sharing this as kind of an add-on video to what I already created because I wanted to kind of highlight that. It was a really good point that she made. It was really profound, and it just makes me appreciate, again, two things. One, the value of finding someone to work with and how they can provide a counter perspective that helps you see something you didn't see. I didn't tie things together the way that she did. Even though I've talked about those subjects, I still didn't tie it together in quite that way. And I thought that was really profound. But secondly, just the fact that it really is important to recognize, like, okay, I have what I want, but now I need to manifest. Hold on. Now I need to manifest what is enough. All right. Thanks for watching, guys.